Welcome to the Doug and Kamish Show, Week 13 edition. Kamish, how was your Thanksgiving?
The food was good, Dougie, but my team did not fare so well.
41 points. I mean, just think last year on Thanksgiving Day, you had 41 points just from two guys.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it.
Did you have any candied yams?
I didn't, I don't think.
No? Did you break the wishbone?
Yeah. Came up on the short end of that one.
How many times did you sit there and undo that top button in your pants when you were eating?
I wear sweatpants, like, on days like that.
Yes.
No, there's no button.
No, I like it. All right, well, anyway, let's go to the Week 12 review, actually, and kind of look back in the past and look at some of the games that took place over the weekend. We had the nappy-headed foe ended up losing to the Bean, 67-115. Nappy-head, we pretty much expected this because he was kind of packing it in, but Brandon Lloyd continues to impress.
Brandon Lloyd is a bright spot for the Nappy, and looks to be a great keeper, potentially, for the Nappy, and what he desperately needs keepers, since, as you said, he basically packed it in 11 weeks ago.
He also has Fred Jackson. It has actually turned into be a pretty decent play.
Right.
I mean, I didn't think he was going to get that many against the Steelers. I don't think anybody was thinking that.
No, the Steelers, I mean, they hold people like Arian Foster and Run DMC and Chris Johnson to 5 and under.
Yeah.
And there's the Fred Jacks.
Bean had Hillis just go nutso again.
Man.
How impressed are you with Hillis?
As I wrote in my rankings, I put the Bean number 2, partly because of Hillis. I think that he's a white monster. Very similar to the Christian Okoye.
Whoa.
Whitey Okoye.
The Nigerian Nightmare.
Not Nigerian.
Huh. Wow. He's actually, I think he's from, where did we say?
Yeah, Casper Nightmare.
Yeah. He's unreal. Are you worried about Peyton Manning at all? He's kind of struggled here and there.
I'm not, Dougie. I mean, he's working with receivers that barely made the team, and Blair White and
couple of them pit and turfed a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to deal with that. He's got Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne's getting double and triple covered, and the other guys just have to stop pit and turfing the ball so much, run the right routes. It's not on Manning. These guys need to pick up the pace. I'm not worried.
So would you pit and turf Manning in your rankings?
No, I would never pit and turf Manning for any reason, under any circumstance, as long as he has all his limbs.
All right. White Trash versus Jockey. White Trash really needed this game in order to stay ahead. Jockey was able to close the gap, and he was able to win 127-99. On the likes of Ben Obamanu and Deion Branch, two very unlikely heroes, but he had enough faith in him to put him in his lineup.
It's very, very good insight for the Roper. But I got to be honest with you, I'm very disappointed.
You had picked White Trash to
in White Trash. I mean, the division was wide open for White Trash to finally become something in this league, and he just lays down, and it's very disappointing to see because his roster was hand-me-downs and gifts from others, mainly his
brother. I believe they call that, is that nepotism?
I don't know that word.
Okay, all right.
But either way, people were giving Jake top 5 players, and he's still not winning.
Yep.
It's very, very upsetting to the White Trash faithful.
Now, T.O. had Revis on him, and T.O. had basically said that Revis was overrated. How do you think T.O. feels about this now?
T.O. is an idiot. I mean, he's 36, and he doesn't have the same tools he had back then going up against the best corner in the NFL, and he's going to talk crap. He got what he deserved.
Deshaun Jackson, hardly any points there for White Trash as
well. Contract issues. Watch out for that. Deshaun Jackson wants his money. He was pissed before the game even started, throwing things in the locker room, upset that he's not getting a contract this year.
Read somewhere that Andy Reid lit into him, and most people had said they'd never seen Andy Reid that animated.
And Andy Reid's fat.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be yelled at by that guy.
No, kind of looks like a walrus. Anyway, go to the SAS. SAS was able to beat Trash for a second time this year. When was the last time that happened?
I don't know if it has happened. Up until this year, it was becoming a non-rivalry. In fact, Trash was sending out hate mail to teams like McLaughlin, mainly, to see if he could get a rivalry going with him, because Sass wasn't putting up much of a fight.
He rode the shoulders of Tom Brady and Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Oh, mercy.
But let me ask you this. You've been ragging on the Jets' defense pick for a while.
Yes.
They scored over 20 points. So how does that make you feel?
it doesn't change anything for me. The Chargers scored 25 once. The Bears have scored that. The Lions have scored that once. It's still not a good first-round pick, but of course the Jets are a good defense. I mean, I'm just glad the rivalry's back. I'm happy for the Gaint Sass. I'm looking forward to next year's rivalry, or maybe even getting a playoff matchup if he makes it.
What happened to Chris Johnson?
He blows. He's got Norm Jimmy John as his quarterback, or whatever that 14-year-old is.
I think it was Rusty Smith.
Rusty Smith. He's got O-line issues. Randy Moss blows. He's got so many issues, and he's got gold teeth.
Doughboy loses to Toilet Town. This is probably Doughboy's chance to get in.
Yeah.
He's going to have a lot of work to do now here, but Toilet Town was able to win. And again, we just keep going back to, can you imagine if he wouldn't have given up his roster?
You know, one could take that argument, Dougie, and really run with it. But I think he's winning because he has given up. The less he puts into this team, obviously, the better they are.
Yeah.
So if he would just keep his hands off the roster, stop making roster moves. Luckily, the trade deadline's gone, so he can't screw the pooch on a trade. Leave it alone. He'll win this week.
Notice he's playing Manningham a lot. You know what college Manningham went to?
U of M.
Yeah. I'm just a thought.
Back when they were a legit football program.
Yeah, just a passing thought. Anyway, with Doughboy, really, Ronnie Brown was a big bright spot there, but do you believe in him? Can you trust him?
No way. I don't trust any Dolphins running back. Every pro eventually has a bright, shining moment.
A one shining moment?
I suppose one. I mean, the Browns had a couple, but like I said in my rankings, stick a fork in him. He's done.
Soldier is able to beat up on the new guy. We had talked about this last week, wondering how the new guy would show up in the big game, and he didn't. Kind of as expected. Soldier was able to walk away with this, riding coattails of Eli, but AP got hurt.
Yeah, and he's game time decision as of right before we were firing the show tonight.
Yeah.
He's game time decision, and the trash really needs him to win this week.
Yeah, but the thing is if nothing else, Soldier can rest in the consolation that he's got a playoff spot, so it shouldn't be a huge issue. You'd rather have that happen now than in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Anyway, new guy, Tom Tolbert, Mike Tolbert, did pretty well that day. But my issue with the new guy is this: he has too many Eagles. If the Eagles don't play well and the Eagles don't score well, he's not scoring well, and he's going to run into that throughout the playoffs. He's got to come up with some different combinations here.
It's boomer bust, right?
Yep. And they play now. Granted, they play Houston, so that's going to help you.
Should be a free fall for points for the NG.
Anyway, greatest show against the Nips. Greatest show drops yet another one.
Yeah, that was a tough one too. The Nips needed so many things to happen to get a win there, including the all-star Lee Evans getting negative points. The Colts defense getting negative points on the bench, and the tiebreaker rule to go into effect, which hasn't had to happen this year yet. So. Very unfortunate for the show.
Yeah, he had 56 points out of Orton and Foster, but his other guys just couldn't step it up. A bunch of singles there. But really, who would have thought Ricky Williams on your bench would have been able to help the Nips propel him to a victory?
Yeah.
But we do know how Paper feels about the home field advantage. I believe he called it gay. He put it in initials, but we were able to decipher what that was. But in the end, the rule's a rule.
He's a bit of a sourpuss about it, but he's going to have to move on with that, or we're just going to have to tell Jake to install Like It or join a different league because A, B, C, D, all the way down to C.
Jake
started his dad's this. Don't make me do that.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the Week 12 review. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Who's our sponsor tonight?
Thomas Collision, because it's snowing out. Let's get some black ice rolling.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get some fender benders, maybe some nice side collisions. Referrals. I'll give cash for referrals. So
all right.
Let's see what happens.
I will see about wrecking my car tonight. We'll be right back.